morning everyone. Good morning sir. We are the reporters for today and we will be reporting about the states of play. But first, let me introduce my teammates.
I am Kathy Benido. I am Xiaomi Umbrosa.
And I am Alexis Mira Reyes.
And I am Lloyd Vincent O'Neill. And we are the Group 5.
So good morning everyone. So the first stage is ball in play. The ball is in play from the moment of the hit of the service authorized by the referee. So if mupito na ang referee, ball is in play na, pwede na mo service out katong na service area. Yeah. Ball in play. So second, ball out of play. The ball is out of play at the moment of the fault which is whistled by one of the referees in the absence of the fault and the moment at the moment of the whistle. So if nanay mo commit of fault or touch na ang bola sa floor, kung anya mo whistle na ang isa sa mga referee, kung na ball is out of play na. Ball in. The ball is in when it touches the floor of the playing court according to boundary lines or sidelines. So, if kita mo touch na ang ball sa floor, anya na touch pa siya sa boundary line, basi gamay ra, ball in pa na. So, sunod. Ball out. The ball is out when the part of the ball which contact the floor is completely outside. So, if mo ni boundary line anya ag bola is ning out na jud, out na to. Score na sa pikas. Sunod, it touches an object outside the court, the calling or a person out of play. So, kita ay inig-spike, mulagpot ang bola mo ato na mo igo sa lingkuranan ba or sa tao nga outside the court, out na tong bola. Next, it touches the antennae, ropes, post, or the net itself outside the sideband. So, if i-receive, receive, ma-touch na ang bola sa antena, sa rope or sa post, outside na po to. Sunod, it crosses the vertical lane of the net either partially or totally outside the crossing space except in case of rule 2. So, if kintahay, ang bola is mo tabok na sa kuan, sa pika side, unya na siya ning agi sa vertical plane niya, diri ning agi, outside na to. Sunod, it crosses completely the lower space under the net. So, masabda naman, ikitay mo ni net, niya dari ning agi bola, wa na to. Ball is out. Next is playing the ball. Each team must play within its own playing area and space. The ball may however be retrieved from beyond free zone. So, naman jud nay sa katong gidiscuss sa previous nga reporter, naman jud na mag-toss coin man niya mag-decide tong nadaog ug asa sila nga court. Yeah. Ug asa sila nga na-assign, ato ra jud sila mag-play. Kanya if kintahay inig-receive ning lagpot ag bola sa free zone, pwede pa to ma-gook doon as long as inigbalik na asod sa vertical plane. Sunod. Team hits. The team is entitled to a maximum of 3 hits. So, if i-serve na ang bola, 3 hits ra jud ang maximum nga dapat kuan, inig-receive, set niya, spike. Next, the hits of the team include not only intentional hits by the player but also unintentional contact with the ball. So if kintahay serve nya ma-misreceive nimo ning igo sa imong teammates, unintentional man to. So pag igo dadto, kuha na to, second touch na to. So kailangan isa na lang ang inyong pwede ma-touch ang ball. Consecutive contacts. A player may not hit the ball 2 times consecutively. So, meaning kita if ikaw nag-receive, dapat lain na pong teammates nimo ang mugukod sa bola or maset. Di pwede pwede nga, ikaw nag-receive, ikaw na pwede mugukod. Bawal to. Next, simultaneous contact. 2 or 3 players may touch the ball at the same moment. 1. When 2 or 3 teammates touch the ball simultaneously, it is counted as 2 or 3 hits with the exception of blocking. If they reach the ball but only one of them touches, 1 hit is counted. A collision of players does not constitute a fault. So, meaning ani kita hay nag-receive na duha ka player niya ang bola na adire. So, pwede man jud to nga magtagbo sila ngana o kuan. So, duha ka touch, di pa to fault. O magbangga sila di to fault. Okay ra to, good ra to. Second, when 2 opponents touch the ball simultaneously over the net and the ball remains in play, the team receiving the ball is entitled to another hit. If the ball goes out, it is the fault of the team on the opponent side. So, kintahay, receive ang bola is ning kuaning tungod sa net. So, ang kuan nila is maingana jud ang murag ikuan man na sa pika side niya i-block po sa pika side, so ma-touch nila ang ball at the same time. So okay ra to. Okay, kitahay bulagpot ang bola sa ari nga side. So entitled pa to sila og kuan 3 hits. Number 3. If simultaneous contact by 2 opponents lead to a catch, it is a double fault and the rally is replayed. So if kintahay ma-touch na pod sa 2 opponents ang ball at the same time, niya mulagpot sa ari nga side, niya kisaw ra double fault to at base kay kuan ma-replayed na ang rally. Next, assisted hit. 1. Within the playing area, a player is not permitted to take support from the teammates or any structure object in order to reach the ball. So if kintahay inig-spike, di man na pwede nga magpatabag ka nga itud arong moawat ang bola, dapat ikaw rin manikamot arong maigo ni mong bola. Second, however, a player who is about to commit a fault, touch the net or across the center line, etc., may be stopped or held back by the teammates. So, if kintahay inig-spike ni mo niya nawakas balance ba niya igo na ni mong net, pwede ka tabangan si mong teammates o bira arong di ni mo matouch ang net or di ka makakross sa center line. So, next, characteristics of the hit. 1. The ball may be touched by any part of the body. So, masabot naman na siya, ang ball daw, pwede maigo any part of the body. Pwede sa tingin, pwede sa gasa, any part. Second, the ball must be hit, not caught or thrown. It can rebound in any direction. So, kailangan i-hit jud ng bola, di kay sawon, di kay ilabay, dapat hit. Number 3. The ball may touch various parts of the body provided that the contact takes place simultaneously. So if kintahay mo ma-receive sa isa niya, maigo pod sa imong teammates ang bola at the same time, good paghapon to. So, sunod exceptions. 3.1. At blocking, consecutive contacts may be 1 or 2 blockers provided that the contacts occur during one action. So, inig naman ay 3 players sa atubangan. Kunya, pwede na sila mo block if mo spike ang opposite side. So, if matouch to nilang bola, maigo dire, isa kakuan, okay ba to? Sunod. At 3.2. At the first hit of the team, the ball may contact various parts of the body consecutively, provided that the contacts occur during one action. So, ining murag same ra pud na siya sa kuan katong characteristics sa number 3.
The next is faults in playing the ball. There are 4 faults in playing the ball. First is 4 a team hits the ball 4 times before returning it. So, ang pasabutan na if kanang bola, if kaupat na si Jam magbalik-balik sa inyong team, so fault na si Jam, kay dapat 3 times raman. Next is assisted hit. A player takes support from a teammate or any structure or object in order to reach the ball within the playing area. So if ikaw mo take og support mo tabang kasi mong teammate or mo gamit kay any structure or object na para ma-reach ang ball within the playing area, so considered ko na si nga fault. Catch. A player does not hits the ball and the ball is caught or thrown, so considered ko na si kay if di ni mo hits ang bola ang ma caught or thrown na si manang fault. Next, last is double contact. A player hits the ball twice in succession or the ball contacts various parts of his or her body in succession. So if kaduha masabot sa imong bisag asa nga part sa lawas, basta kanang na nagsagunson nga ikaw ra, so false din na siya. Next is ball at the net. Ball crossing the net. The ball sent the opponent's court must go over the net within the crossing space. So, if ang ball ko no ma-sent na siya sa kanang court sa kanang kontra, so dapat over the net nga nara sa crossing space. The crossing space is the part of the vertical plane of the net limited as follows. So, first is below by the top of the net. So, ubos sa net. Next is at the side, kilid, by the antenna under imaginary extension of above the ceiling. So, sabot ba naman na? So, the next is the ball that has crossed the net plane to the opponent's free zone totally or partly through the external space may be played back within the team hits provided that the opponent's court is not touched by the player. So, ang opponent's court, ang kanang court sa kontra dapat di matouch sa player sa imong or something sa imong kauban nga kuan. The ball when played back crosses the net plane again totally or partly through the external space on the same side of the court. The opponent team may not prevent such action. So, the ball when played back, kung ang bola ko no magbalik-balik, crosses the net plane again totally or partly through the external space on the same side of the court. The opponent team may not prevent such action. So, ang opponent team ko natin pwede pugani dyan katong action. Next is ball touching the net. So, sagot ang ball naman na. While crossing the net, the ball may touch it. So, player at the net. Reaching beyond the net. In blocking, a blocker may touch the ball beyond the net. So, mo blocko na kana masabot ag net beyond the net provided that he or she does not interfere with the opponent's play before or during the latter's hit. So, a player is permitted to pass his or her hand beyond the net after an attack hit. So, ang player ko no, pwede siya mupasa, kana mo ipasa ni siya bola kana sa iyang kauban before after igahuman sa attack, provided that the contact has been made within his or her own playing space, kana nara sa ilang playing space sa ilang court. So, next, penetration under the net. First is it is permitted to penetrate into the opponent's space under the net. So, kanang okay o kanang sana opponents kanang under sa net sa kontra pwede ra kanang makatama pero di jud mulapas.
Number 2, penetration into the opponent's court beyond the center line. To touch the opponent's court with a foot or feet or hands is permitted, provided that some part of the penetrating foot or feet or hands remains either in contact with or directly above the center line. So it means okay ra if ang imong hand hands or feet is mungadto sa opponent's court basta partially ra nakatamak gihapon ka sa center line. Next, to contact the opponent's court with any other parts of the body is forbidden. If any parts sa imong body is mungadto sa opponent's court, di na siya pwede. Then sa 3, a player may enter the opponent's court after the ball goes out of play. So, pwede na ka mungadto sa opponent's court if ang bola is goes out na. Kintahay, pag hit nimo sa bola na igo sa kanang other nga team. So, indya ang bola is na out. So, pwede na ka mungadto sa kuan if mga ba pasaylo karon. Then sa 4 is players may penetrate into the opponent's free zone provided that they do not interfere with the opponent's play. So meaning kanang pwede ka mungadto sa opponent's free zone basta ka di ka maka-interrupt sa ilang duwa. Next is contact with net. Contact with the net or the antenna is not a fault, except when a player touches them during his or her action of playing the ball or it interferes with the play. Some actions of playing the ball may include action in which the players do not actually touch the ball. So meaning ani, if ang bola ma-touch sa net or antenna, okay ra siya. Basta kay di ang player mo ay makahawid sa net or antenna. Second, once the player has hit the ball, he or she may touch the post, rope, or any other object outside the total length of the net, provided that it does not interfere with the play. So, if ang player kuno nahuman na og kanang hit sa ball, pwede na si Dra muhawid sa post, sa rope, o any other object basta di sa total length sa net. 3. When the ball is driven into the net and causes it to touch an opponent, no fault is committed. If kantahay kuno ang kanang ball is naigo sa net din naigo sa opponent, di kuno to si Dra kanang wa kuno to si Dra fault kay unintentional man to nga pagkaigo. Next is the player's fault at the net. 1. A player may touch the ball or an opponent's space before or during the opponent's attack hit. Player ko no pwede may touch the ball. If ang player ko no pwede mo touch sa ball o kanang mungadto sa opponent's space basta wa pa nagduwa o kanang attack na during sa duwa. 2. A player penetrates into the opponent's space under the net, interfering with the latter's play. 3. A player penetrates into the opponent's court. And 4. A player touches the net or the antenna during his or her action of playing the ball or interferes with the play. So, sabotable naman po siya, di ba? Kanay na ay, para sa hanggiingon ganiha nga if ang player matouch sa net or sa antenna, fault na to si Dra. Then next is the service. The service is the act of putting the ball into the play by the back right player placed in the service zone. Service mo na ni katong kinsay serve. So di ba mo serve ka at tumanjud ka sa service zone, di man si kadto sa kanang kuan. Then first service in a set. The first service of a set, as well as that of the deciding set, the fifth is executed by the team determined by the toss. Parehas sa giingon sa group 3 nga if mo sa first set mag-toss sa una og coin and then if kintahay o kinsay madaog mo si Jatoy kanang mag-kuan if si kinsay mauna kamo ba nga team or sa opponent team. Second, the other sets will be started with the service of the team that did not serve first in the previous set. Sa first set, intahay. Sa first set, kamo ang ni-serve. Sa second set, adto na pod sa pikas. Then sa third, ikaw mo na pod sa fourth, pikas. Then inig sa fifth, mag-toss coin na pod mo.
Next, service order. 1. The player must follow the service order recorded in a lineup sheet. So before magduwa, mag-send man naman ay list sa player na i-send sa official. So mo to isundon nga lineup mo to nga sheet siya. Then number 2, after the first service in a set, the player to serve is determined as follows. When the serving team wins the rally, the player who serves isa'y nag-serve mo makaserve pagbalik like this team and this team. So if makascore sila, sila ni-serve una, then makascore sila gyapon mo serve pagbalik. And that player will serve again. Pero if siya ay nag-serve din then nakascore sa pikas, and then nakascore na pud sila, di na pud siya ang serve kato na pong nagsunod sa iyang rotation. So next, when the receiving team wins the rally, it gains the right to serve, rotates before actually serving. So, mo itong explain. The player who moves from the front right position from the back right position will serve. So, sa rotation, kung isa ito'y sunod niya rotate, mo serve balik. Next is authorization of the service. The first referee authorized the service after having checked that the two teams are ready to play and the serve is possession of the ball. So, ang referee kung ni-authorize, iyang tanawon if ang pikas team o ang pikas team is ready na ba. So, ana pa siya mo pito and then mayon siya nga pwede na i-serve ang bola. Execution of the service. 1. The ball shall be hit with one hand or any part of the arm after being tossed or released from the hands. So, kausara dapat mo toss. Nag-serve nimo, imong hitsa gitos. Then, feeling nimo shaky or layo ra, dito nimo pwede sawo una niya is itos na pagbalik. It's a fault na. Number 2, only one toss of the ball is allowed. So, mga to, dribbling or moving the ball in the hands is permitted. So, before ka mo serve, yung dribble, yung toyo, mga nakaibot-baton. Basta, puwa pa ning pito ang referee. Kaya once mo pito ng referee, you only have that 8 seconds before ka mo serve. Next,
Di mo next.
katong haro.
Di lagi na.
Next, faults made after the service and positional faults. So, dinhi mo ni pinaka-crucial kini mga positional and service faults. 1, if the server makes a fault at the moment of the serve, hit, or improper execution, or wrong rotational, etc., and the opponent is out of position, it is the serving faults which penalize. So, ang pasabutan is, duha ka fault within the team nga like, nag-serve ka, unya ang imong mga kauban kay nasa wrong position or wrong rotational order. So ikaw may ma-penalize ang nag-serve, the service fault. Otherwise, it is executed of the service has been correct, but the service subsequently become faulty. So nausog na pod or ang imong pag-serve is na-goes out or na-net siya, ang positional fault ang ma-penalize. So mao gyapon ang situation like ikaw ang nag-serve, then ang imong mga kauban is nasa wrong rotational order, then pag-serve nimo na-net siya, ila hatong nga fault. Sila ay ma-penalize katong mga nasa wrong positional order. Next is the attack hit. 1. All actions direct the ball towards the opponent with the exception of the serve and block are considered as a attack hit. So attack hit, mo na yung mga hit niya kanang mga attack like tip off or spike or dump, mga attack na siya aside sa blocking and serving. Kaya mo man na siya other way of scoring aside sa attack hit. Next, during an attack hit, tipping is permitted only if the ball is cleanly hit and not caught or thrown. So, mo to siya nga if itip nimo ang bola sa ibabaw sa net, dapat di nimo siya ma-caught or ma-thrown. Otherwise, ma-double touch. Then, number 3, an attack hit is completed with the moment the ball completely across the vertical plane or the net of the net or touched by an opponent. So, matawag siya nga complete ang attack hit once ang ball kining completely cross siya sa vertical plane sa net. So, if mukapakaw niya wala sa net, so dito siya attack hit. Di ba complete ang attack? Next, the restrictions of the attack hit. So, naman tayo way of attacking. Na po yung mga restrictions kung saan pag-attack. 1, a front row player may complete an attack at any height provided that the contact with the ball has been made within the player's own playing space. So, sa court sa volleyball, puno mo gina players nasa sulod. So, tulo ang nasa front court, tulo pod ang nasa back row, front row o back row. So, ang naa sa front row, pwede sila mo attack at any height. Bisan asa sila, pwede sila mo attack, pwede sila mo lukus tunga sa kilid nila na. So, mo na mga kaya buhaton sa mga nasa front row. And number 2, the back row player. So, ang back row player, lahi po siya ang restrictions. Kay may complete an attack hit any height from behind the front zone. So, pwede sila mo attack, pero dapat di sila mo tungtong sa front zone. Di sila dito pwede nga mo take off or di sila pwede dito gikan mo attack. So, adto sila sa back row na area. At her or his take off, the player's foot must either has touched, not crossed over the attack line. So, pwede siya nga mulukso beyond the front row. Hindi siya sa likod, sa back row siya ning lukso. And then sa front row siya ning landing. Good na to siya. It's considered as a back row attack. After his or her hit, the player may land within the front zone. O sa mga to, pwede na siya nga land sa front zone. Pero dapat gikan siya sa back row siya ni attack or ni take off. Next is the attack hit faults. O na mga faults in attacking. Number 1, a player hits the ball within the playing space of the opposing team. Ang player ko no na attack siya sa opposing team nga space. Maybe di na fault na gito siya kay naman ka sa opposing team ni hit. So fault na siya. Number 2, a player hits the ball out. If pag-attack niyo mo na out, so fault na to siya. Score na to sa pikas. Number 3, a back row player completes an attack hit from the front zone. Mo to. May restriction sa back row player nga di siya pwede mo attack sa front zone. So if ato siya mo attack sa front zone, so fault na to siya. If the moment of the hit, the ball is entirely above the top of the net, so mo to. Number 4, a player completes an attack hit on opponent's service when the ball is in front zone and entirely above the top of the net. So, the same way sa number 3, so mo to siya nga na-explain na to ang restrictions sa attack sa front row, sa back row. So, if imo tong suwayon or imo labag ka na to sa mga rules, so ma-fault mo siya. Next is block or blocking. What is block? Blocking is the action of players close to the net to intercept the ball coming from the opponent by reaching the higher than the top of the net. Block attempt is an action of looking without touching the ball. Only from raw players are completed a block. So, ang pasabot sa block is imong harangan ang spike sa pikas. Otherwise, kanang pwede nimo siya nga ma-kill block or ma-block nimo siya. Pwede pod nimo siya nga purpose of blocking is pwede nimo siya ma-kill ang momentum sa block sa spike sa pikas. So, kusog ang spike sa pikas, ma-block ka nimo, muhinay ang momentum, then matos yung pikas nindot na i-receive, mas dali na. Next is the collective block. A collective block is executed by 2 or 3 players close to each other and is completed when one of them touches the ball. So, a collective block is like bunch blocking. Pwede mo nga tulo or upat mo mag-block, pero mostly 3 blockers na dyan na sa tubangan, kay 3 players naman na sa tubangan. So, pwede mo magdungan o lukso para ma-block ang bola. Next is the block contact. Consecutive or quick and continuous contacts may occur by one or more blockers provided that the contacts made during one action. Tahay, tulo mo ning block. Nya pag-igo sa pag-spike sa bola, naigo sa imong kamot, then naigo na po sa imong kauban nga blocker, naigo na po sa ikatulong ng mga kauban nga blocker, good to siya. Pwede na pa to siya nimo adto sa imong mga kauban dahil mo over pagid ang bola kay nakusugan. Pwede pa to mga 3 hits kay ang block di pa siya ma-count as a hit. Then, next is block within the opponent's space. In blocking, the player may place his or her hands and arms beyond the net, providing that this action does not interfere with the opponent's play. Ang pasabot ana is, tahay taas kayo ka, lukso nimo, ang imong kamot ning lapas dun sa ni adto dun sa pikas kontra kay taas kayo imong kamot. Good sa to siya unless kung naka-interfere ka sa play sa pikas, like iset pa dito sa ilang center nya naabot man nimo, overreaching na to siya. So, it is a fault na pod. Next, block and team hits. Number 1, a block contract is not counted as a team hit. Kay block man siya, di siya team hit. Kay mo man to ang kanang consider as a team hit katong 3 touches. So block naman ikaw ra may nakaigo, so di siya team hit. Consequently, after a block contact, a team is entitled to 3 hits returning the ball. So mo to. Number 2, the first hit after the block may be executed by any player, including the one who has touched the ball during the block. So, ang pasabot ani is, tahay, ikaw naka-block, unya ang bola kay ning pandungro ko sa imong tungod, pwede to nimo i-receive. Kay naman na to sa rules nga, block isn't count as a hit. So if maka-block ka, then ang bola padung rapod nimo, pwede pa to nimo siya first touch. Then blocking service. To block an opponent's service is forbidden. Mo dunay rules sa volleyball nga ang service sa kontra dili mo pwede i-block. And then napuntay mga blocking faults. Kaya naman dyan na mga team hit faults, mga service faults. Kanina pa yung mga blocking faults. 1. The blocker touches the ball in the opponent's space either before or simultaneously with one opponent's attack hit. Pasabot ani niya, the blocker touches the ball, opponent, ang blocker na-touch niya ang opponent's space before sa kanang mag-set pa unta ang pikas, then na-touch man nimo ang bola nga imo nang gi-block bisan wa paghihapak sa pikas, so fault to siya, score to sa pikas. Number 2, a back row player or a libero completes a block or participants in a completed block. So di man pwede mo block ang libero, di pud pwede mo block ang mga back row players kay syempre ang net naman sa front row, then sila nasa back row, di sila pwede mudong sa atubangan nya mulukso. And also the libero, kay ang role sa libero is defense, ground defense. Di siya pwede nga mo attack, di siya pwede nga mo block. Number 3, blocking the opponent's service. Amo to, fault siya nga i-block nimo ang service opponent. Number 4, the ball is sent out of the block. Tahay, na-blockan, then na-out. Fault na to siya, block fault na to. Tahay ning spike ang kontra. Na-blockan nimo, nalipay ka kay na-blockan nimo pero na-out man ang bola. Score yapon to nila kay na-out man. Blocking fault yapon to siya. And number 5, blocking the ball in the opponent's space from outside the antenna. Oh, ang key term to is outside the antenna. So mo block ka sa opponent's space from outside the antenna, so it's considered as a blocking fault. Kaya if mo block ka outside from antenna, it's out naman. Then number 6, lastly, a libero attempts an individual or collective block. Oh, as we all know or sa aming explain nga ang libero, dili pwede mo attack, dili siya pwede mo block. So if a libero attempts an individual or collective block, it is considered as a blocking fault. And that's all for today's reporting. I hope you learned something. Bye-bye! Interfere niya ang play sa pikas kay nakapenetrate siya sa space under the net. So fault to siya.
Kaya naka-interfere.
Interfere mo siya sa play sa pikas. Then a player penetrate to the opponent's court. Kung dito na siya sa court, na-penetrate na ganyan ang opponent.
Okay.
So, then number 4,
Haba.
the player touches.
Kapoy.